We went in the mountains a lot, and my daughter, she learned to count by counting the fish. I'd go out at 4:30 in the morning fishing, and I'd put her asleep in the bow of the boat, and wake her up by tickling her nose with the tail. My name is Vince McIntyre. I was born in the west of Ireland. I've lived here since 1979. When Amber was, my daughter was 2.5 years old, I'd brought her up here. Both of us were homeless, And I was wondering where we were going to spend the winter. And there was an old man in Johnson's Landing. He wanted me to get him some poles for his chicken house to build, and he knew there was nice straight cedar poles up here. So I take Amber up here and we get some poles, but in the process Amber forgets her red shoes. So I had to bring her back up here to get her red shoes. So I brought my girlfriend up here, and I was just wanting to see how she felt about the place, and she was just totally amazed. This old GMC van, back in 1979, it was my home. And I traveled from place to place, and I carried everything I owned in it, and I had my canoe on top. Now it's known as the library. And I imagine it's here to stay. I don't think I'll ever get back on the road again. I moved here in 1979. I traveled quite a bit, and I camped a lot, and it become just an easy thing for me to do. I learned certain skills that made it easier, and and I find that hauling water in a bucket is much easier than fixing plumbing. It seems like a lot of work to people when they think about packing water and splitting wood and doing stuff, time consuming. And most people in today's world, they don't have time for all that effort and live their other lives, And I've got used to it. To me, the biggest tragedy is that there's people today that they don't know why they're alive. They don't know why they're on this earth. Is it to play computer games, or what? Is it for kids to get really good at mountain bike riding or something like that that's unnecessary, that they don't have responsibility here? I think that's the biggest human tragedy myself, because it leaves people helpless, that it's all about fun, and what we do is fun. When I started farming first, I wasn't. I was mainly just in the survival mode, seeing if I could do it, And it was kind of a lonely life, because there wasn't very many people doing it. So when I started growing food, I come to realize that this is really important, to feed my family and my friends and people around me. The way I live isn't ideal. It has its drawbacks. It would be much better if I had my farm all in one place and I could look out on it and go out there and see my cattle every day, but I don't have that. So I make the best of what I do have, and I enjoy. My experience going out there every day in the winter, it's a good experience. I get to see the flats and the beauty of the natural world, and the river flowing, and the changes in the weather, and the birds coming in the spring, and And I see my cattle out there, and it's like going to visit them. You know, it's almost better than living with them. You know, if you go and work in a automobile factory and you put 4 bolts in a radiator, and that's all you know how to do, and you have you're dependent on being in a certain way with your superiors, otherwise you lose your job. You can't be real. If you have a mortgage, you have to say and do things that you don't want to do. And if you want to do other stuff, then you have to have you have to have the willpower or whatever it takes to not go home and watch TV and drink beer, but do other stuff to give you like a life. We've lost that concept of manhood and growing up and all that somehow, you know. Like you don't have that extreme whatever it is to push you out in the world. At one time it was a young fella go to sea because he couldn't get along with his father, for instance. That's natural. And our nature is the same, to be ousted out of the nest at a certain. But with all the infrastructure and all the industrial whatever makes us so that we don't have to grow up. We don't have to go it on our own.